Diesel Dave vanished from your TV screen, and fans have been asking the same question for years. What the hell happened? The guy who built monster trucks and pulled off insane stunts just disappeared after 8 seasons of pure diesel-powered chaos. But the truth is way more intense than you think. We're talking million-dollar lawsuits, federal judges, trademark battles, and accusations that nearly destroyed everything he built. The reality behind Diesel Dave's disappearance involves courtrooms, controversies, and a choice that shocked everyone. What really went down will change how you see the entire Diesel Brothers empire. Everything fell apart in 2016 when a group called Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment decided to target Diesel Dave and Heavy D. These doctors weren't playing around. They filed a massive federal lawsuit claiming the duo violated the Clean Air Act hundreds of times by stripping emissions controls from diesel trucks. The accusations were brutal: illegal modifications, rolling coal, creating massive pollution in Salt Lake City's already terrible air quality. For years, Diesel Dave thought he was just building badass trucks for off-road use, believing it was completely legal. He was dead wrong. The case dragged through courts for 4 years. In March 2020, federal judge Robert Shelby dropped the hammer. Diesel Dave, Heavy D, and their crew were ordered to pay $850,000 in fines. The judge didn't hold back, finding they'd violated federal law on hundreds of occasions. Even worse, the ruling included a permanent injunction, meaning if they ever tampered with emissions again, they'd face contempt of court charges. The Diesel brothers tried appealing, hoping to overturn the decision. In 2021, their appeal crashed and burned. The appeals court actually made things worse by noting flagrant misconduct in their operations. They kept fighting. By January 2024, they finally caught a break, winning a $225,000 reduction of the penalties. But the damage was done. The lawsuit cost them hundreds of thousands in legal fees on top of the fines, nearly destroying their business. And this was just the beginning of their legal nightmare. While still dealing with the emissions lawsuit, another bomb dropped. In 2019, the Italian fashion giant Diesel came after them hard. The jeans company filed a trademark infringement lawsuit in New York federal court, claiming the names Diesel Sellers and Diesel Power Gear were too similar to their brand. Diesel Dave probably thought it was ridiculous. He worked with diesel trucks, not designer jeans, but the fashion company had billions behind them and wasn't backing down. The case moved through the courts while Diesel Dave tried to keep his business alive. By 2023, Judge Jennifer Rochon delivered a crushing blow: $11.8 million in damages for trademark infringement. The court found their branding was confusingly similar when displayed on their physical storefront and website domains. Diesel Dave and Heavy D were now facing one of the biggest trademark penalties in automotive history. This wasn't about trucks anymore, this was about their entire brand identity being ripped apart. The ruling meant everything they'd built under the Diesel name was now legally problematic. Their merchandise, their online presence, their shop signage, all of it became a liability. Between the emissions fine and the trademark judgment, they were staring down nearly $12 million in legal penalties. Most businesses would have collapsed. Most people would have given up. But Diesel Dave had other plans, and the trademark battle continues, dragging through courts even now in 2025. The financial pressure became unbearable, and fans started noticing something strange. New episodes stopped appearing on Discovery Channel. After 8 seasons of Diesel Brothers dominating Discovery Channel, new episodes suddenly stopped in 20. Fans immediately assumed the worst. The show got cancelled because of all the lawsuits. Message boards exploded with theories. Some thought Discovery cut ties to avoid association with the legal controversies. Others believed the network couldn't handle the bad publicity from the environmental violations. Everyone had an opinion, but nobody knew the truth. Then Diesel Dave and Heavy D finally spoke up. The revelation shocked everyone. They weren't cancelled. They chose to leave. After years of TV production schedules, network restrictions, and edited drama, they were done. They wanted to return to their roots on YouTube, where they'd started before Discovery ever contacted them. The TV show had become exhausting, forcing them to create content on someone else's timeline with someone else's vision. They missed the freedom of building what they wanted, when they wanted. On YouTube, they could show the real reality of their shop without network censorship. No more manufactured drama, no more rushing builds to meet filming deadlines, no more executives controlling their content. They could be authentic again, connecting directly with fans who'd supported them from the beginning. The decision made sense financially too, between the lawsuits draining their resources and YouTube's monetization potential. Leaving TV wasn't as crazy as it seemed. Their YouTube channels exploded. Heavy D Sparks now has over 4.1 million subscribers with more than 900 million views. Across all platforms, they've got over 10 million followers and 2 billion views. They proved you don't need Discovery Channel when you've built a loyal fan base. But while most people focused on the show ending, another controversy was brewing that nobody saw coming. In 2024, Heavy D got dragged into a massive corporate lawsuit that pulled Diesel Dave into even more drama. For years, Heavy D had been working with Nikola Corporation on their hydrogen-electric Badger pickup truck. He'd been promoting the vehicle, designing components, and fully believing in the project's potential. Then everything imploded when Nikola's founder, Trevor Milton, got convicted of fraud for lying about the company's technology and inflating stock prices. When Nikola canceled the Badger project in 2020, Heavy D saw an opportunity. Through his new company EMBAR Motors, he purchased all rights to the Badger and its assets in February 2024. Seemed like a smart business move, buying a promising vehicle design from a troubled company. But Nikola wasn't happy. They filed a lawsuit claiming Heavy D was helping Milton try to regain control of Nikola through board nominations and backroom deals. The accusations were serious. Nikola alleged that Milton was using Heavy D and his attorney Cole Cannon as puppets to manipulate the company through Milton's investment firm M&M Residual LLC. The lawsuit claimed Heavy D's EMBAR Motors purchase was part of a larger scheme to give Milton influence over Nikola again despite his criminal conviction. Heavy D denied everything, stating he legitimately wanted to bring sustainable vehicles to market. This added another layer of legal complexity to Diesel Dave's world. His business partner was now entangled with corporate fraud allegations and convicted criminals. The Nikola situation became another headline that made people question what was really happening with the Diesel Brothers brand. But through all the chaos, Diesel Dave kept building trucks. Despite the lawsuits, controversies, and drama, Diesel Dave never stopped working. He's still running diesel cellars with Heavy D in their Utah shop, building custom trucks and living the diesel lifestyle. His Instagram has 2 million followers, and he's constantly posting updates about new builds and projects. The guy who fans thought disappeared is actually more active than ever, just not on TV. Diesel Dave went back to basics, creating content on his terms. The YouTube strategy paid off massively, giving him direct access to millions of fans without network interference. He participates in Monster Jam competitions, driving custom trucks like Bro Camino, and competing alongside Heavy D. In 2020, he debuted Bro Camino at Stadium Championship Series events before the pandemic shut everything down. He's also driven Max D and El Toro Loco at various Monster Jam shows, proving his skills extend beyond the garage. His family life thrives too. He's married to his wife, who goes by Diesel Des on Instagram, not Susan like some sources incorrectly report. They have 3 kids, daughters Sailor Faye and Piper Corinne, plus son Jackson. He balances building trucks with being a present father, something TV production schedules never allowed. His net worth sits around $2 million despite the legal penalties draining resources. He and Heavy D still give away trucks to fans, proving the giveaways were never fake despite rumors. They've adapted their business model to comply with emissions regulations while continuing to build impressive diesel machines. Diesel Dave survived what would have destroyed most people, and he's still doing what he loves every single day. In what might be Diesel Dave's most important work, he and Heavy D used their equipment for something far more meaningful than building trucks. They participated in the search for Susan Powell, a Utah mother who disappeared in 2009 in one of the state's most haunting missing persons cases. For 2 straight weeks, the Diesel Brothers team used their heavy equipment to search a 200-foot cave where investigators suspected her remains might be located. The operation was massive. They brought in specialized recovery vehicles and excavation equipment that police departments couldn't access or operate. Day after day, they methodically searched the cave system, hoping to find any evidence that could bring closure to Susan's family. The work was physically exhausting and emotionally draining. These weren't stunts or pranks. This was real recovery work with life-changing implications for a grieving family. They didn't find Susan's remains, but what they accomplished was just as important. They were able to bring Susan's parents to the site and definitively show them their daughter wasn't there. After years of uncertainty and false leads, the Diesel Brothers helped eliminate one of the most persistent theories about Susan's disappearance. Police officers who'd worked the case for over a decade couldn't accomplish what Diesel Dave and Heavy D did with their equipment and determination. The mission showed a different side of the Diesel Brothers, one that critics rarely acknowledged. These weren't just guys building loud trucks and causing pollution controversies. They were skilled equipment operators willing to use their resources for good. The search earned them respect even from people who'd criticized them during the lawsuit years. It proved that beneath all the diesel smoke and legal drama, there were genuinely good people trying to make a difference. Diesel Dave didn't disappear. He evolved. He survived an $850,000 federal fine, an $11.8 million trademark judgment, and walked away from TV fame to reclaim his freedom. The lawsuits continue dragging through courts, but his business thrives on YouTube with millions of loyal fans. He helped search for a missing woman, competed in Monster Jam, raised a family, and kept building the diesel trucks he loves. The controversies tried to destroy him, but Diesel Dave proved something important. When you're passionate about what you do, no amount of legal chaos can stop you from living your truth.